During a recent segment on Fox Business, Kayleigh McEnany, the former press secretary under Trump and current Fox News host and contributor, she seemed to accidentally call her own viewers, Republicans, crazy. I want to show you the clip first before we discuss, and you'll watch it and maybe think, hey, wait, no, she didn't say that, but I'll explain afterwards. Based on the poll she's referencing and her explanation, the only conclusion to be derived from what she's saying is that she thinks Republicans are crazy. We'll talk about it more after this.
Let's move on. Talk some politics here. Donald Trump expands his lead over DeSantis. The latest poll, this is a McLaughlin and Associates poll, Trump 67%, DeSantis 26%. Now, where I want to go with this, just get your take on this. The Jerry Baker op-ed in the Journal today, Gerard Baker, a very smart guy. Trump can beat Biden if voters vote on pocketbook issues, okay? That's point number one. And I want to continue our conversation. I think DeSantis could get back into the race if he would stop this Disney obsession. He won, he got his law, now they're in court over governance, and start talking about pocketbook issues like the difference between New York and Florida. Both of these guys talking pocketbook issues.
I think both are important. Look, I am the person maybe out of my own that's not joining the chorus of DeSantis stop attacking Disney. The reason I say this, if I'm DeSantis, I'm trying to cleave to the right of Trump on a debate stage. How am I going to do that? I can do that on the life issue. I signed a 6-week ban, heartbeat legislation. I can do that on Disney. I'm your culture warrior. And there was a CBS poll out today. The way it was phrased was bunk. It was made to make Republicans look crazy. But one of the questions they asked is, how important is it to you to stand up to the woke agenda? 67% of Republicans said very important. So if I'm DeSantis and I look at that, I'm continuing this battle in a primary. How you do it in a general is a different story. But at this point, he's looking at a primary and he's staring down some polls where the gap is pretty big.
But Kayleigh, love, it's not working for him.
Don't call her love.
Look at these numbers.
He's not in the race yet, I think is what they would argue.
He's in the race. He's been traveling overseas. In fact, he had some difficulties overseas, but I don't want to go there. I'm just saying it's not working for him. I mean, I think it was initially, but now it's not working for him. Trump's got a 30 to 40 point lead. And by the way, our former boss is talking economic and pocketbook issues. He's really the only one in the race who is.
So Larry Kudlow is not normally someone I agree with, but he's right on the DeSantis being this anti-woke warrior isn't going to propel him to a national win. It's just not working. Maybe it works in Florida. It's just not going to propel him to a national victory. But the poll that Kayleigh McEnany is referencing is this one. And it's from CBS. And it asks, essentially, for the 2024 hypothetical Republican nominee for president, do you prefer a candidate who, and then asks multiple things, and the GOP primary voters voted. And it shows that 85% of GOP primary voters say they prefer a candidate who, for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, challenge woke ideas. 85% of GOP primary voters say they prefer a candidate who challenges woke ideas. And then 66% say opposes any gun restrictions. 61% says Trump won in 2020. They prefer a candidate who will say that. And 57% says makes liberals angry. So seemingly among the priorities, we have challenges woke ideas. 85% of GOP Republican primary voters. 66%. Oh no, guys. This is... And then the 61%, of course. I know I'm going back through this, but I just need a process. It says Trump won in 2020. And then a clear majority also just wants Trump to make liberals angry. Quite the worldview, and quite the motivation to go out and vote. But she's saying that simply asking Republican voters for the 2024 Republican nomination for president, do you prefer a candidate who does this, or this? Republican voters look crazy. Kayleigh, you're just asking Republican voters which issues matter to them in a Republican possible nominee, and that, in your words, makes them appear crazy. That's not CBS's fault. CBS can dare to ask what Republican voters' priorities are. So that is you, Kayleigh, calling them crazy by deriving that word from the answers they honestly gave to a perfectly fine poll. And I don't tend to use the word crazy, but yeah, when you look at another reminder, because this will be split up into segments, and YouTube segment viewers might not know this. Sick, voice is gone. That's why I'm falling apart. And when you look at this poll, again, I don't use the word crazy, but I get disturbed by it. Look at it again, one more time. Challenges woke ideas. I bet you that 100% of that 85% could not define woke if they tried their very hardest, if they had a gun to their head. And then a clear majority opposes any gun restrictions, 66%, after all of the carnage we've experienced. And not to mention both, I can't only go through the top two when I talk about this. The election being stolen, 61%, and then making liberals angry. And by the way, the 61% is a number, kind of that 60, 61, 62, 63. That's what we've seen in multiple polls now. And that's the clear chunk of the Republican Party that believes the election was stolen. We've seen that in multiple polls, which is disturbing. A clear, significant majority of one of the two parties in a political system, wrongfully, based on no evidence, don't believe in our democratic process and believe the last election was stolen. But then finally, Kayleigh goes on to use the poll as proof that DeSantis should be focusing on the culture war, anti-woke stuff. She was saying that the fact that so many Republicans are concerned about the woke monster, that should motivate DeSantis to keep obsessing over it, even though, as Kudlow said, it's clearly not working for him. So then you do think the poll is representative of Republican voters if you're saying that that proves DeSantis should use it as an indication that he should keep freaking out about the nebulous woke disaster that's looming. The most important takeaway, though, from this segment is what on earth is that poll? Okay, we can laugh at Kayleigh, oh, you're alluding to your own voters, your own supporters being crazy or whatever, but that poll should send shivers down all of our spine. Very concerning that that's the priorities, that's the preference of Republican voters. By the way, if you want to support what I do, get access to the full video version of the show as well, hours, sometimes days before all the clips are able to be uploaded from a given show to the YouTube channel, and get a bonus show most weekends, unless I'm sick like I was this weekend or last weekend. You can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. And if you're a new viewer, just know sometimes, most of the time, my voice sounds really normal and not like this.